Hello, this is Pro-Male Vendetta here. There is a phrase doing the rounds by anti-SJW types. It is go woke go broke. The phrase basically means that the feminist agenda bankrupts companies, and SJWs are going to go away on their own. I am going to explain why in this video, why this is not the case. Feminists are never going to go broke. Feminists have been invading male hobbies for a long time now. For example, there has been a feminist attack on video games going on for a few years. Feminists have been trying to target hentai games, and have managed to get some banned on Steam. Anita Sarkeesian has been leading the charge to force feminist intersectionality into video games. More examples include feminists managing to hijack Ghostbusters and Star Wars and completely trash them. You think Hollywood has learnt their lesson here? If you think they have, think again. Let's look at a clip from Midnight's Edge, on a video reporting on about the latest upcoming Bond movie. I will link the video in the description.
Do you remember the progressive activist droid from Solo: A Star Wars Story? In case you didn't, that droid is voiced and performed by actress and playwright Phoebe Waller-Bridge. In her next assignment, she will ensure that James Bond ends his ways of toxic masculinity and becomes a suitable role model for the postmodern Me Too era. In this video, we will explore why James Bond is no longer a suitable male role model, how Phoebe Waller-Bridge reportedly will contribute to him getting with the times, and what the story of James Bond 25 might be.
Right-wing men want to make this an issue about movie quality. Many anti-SJWs like to posture about not caring about politics, and claim they only want good movies. I am not concerned about movie quality per se. I am concerned that feminists use Hollywood as a platform to propagate their poisonous propaganda. The upcoming James Bond movie is most likely going to be a feminist disaster, but feminism was poisoning Bond a long time ago. Most people just didn't pick up on it. Let's look at a clip from GoldenEye if you do not believe me.
Good night. The Prime Minister's talked to Moscow. They're saying it was an accident during a routine training exercise.
Governments change. The lies stay the same.
What else do we know about the Yana Syndicate?
Top-flight arms dealers headquartered in St. Petersburg. First outfit to restock the Iraqis during the Gulf War. The head man's unreliably described, no photographs. The woman on the top is our only confirmed contact.
Would you care for a drink?
Thank you. Your predecessor kept some cognac in the top.
I prefer bourbon. Ice?
Yes.
We've pulled the files on anyone who might have had access or authority at 7i. The top name on the list's an old friend of yours, I understand.
Oromov. They made him a general.
He sees himself as the next Iron Man of Russia, which is why our political analysts rule him out. He doesn't fit the profile of a traitor.
Are these the same analysts who said the GoldenEye couldn't exist? Who said the helicopter posed no immediate threat and wasn't worth following?
You don't like me, Bond. You don't like my methods. You think I'm an accountant. A bean counter, more interested in my numbers than your instincts.
The thought had occurred to me.
Good. Because I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur. A relic of the Cold War. Whose boyish charms, though wasted on me, obviously appeal to that young woman I sent out to evaluate you.
Point taken.
Not quite, 007.
Calling a man a misogynist is a very serious thing to do. Misogyny means hatred of women, and that is seen as a vile thing in this woman-worshipping society. Also, the label gets abused and applied to men who are not misogynist. Bond has never expressed hatred of women in his movies. He likes to romance women. The early Bond used to slap women about to get information from them, but he would also coldly kill men who messed with him. What pretext is there to call Bond a misogynist then? None at all. You could argue that this is just one scene and Judi Dench is just playing a character, but trust me, it gets worse. James Bond has been used to promote feminist propaganda and lies.
We're equals, aren't we, 007? Yet it is 2011, and a man is still likely to earn more money than a woman, even one doing the same job. You have a far better chance of entering political office or becoming a company director. As a man, you're less likely to be judged for promiscuous behaviour, which is just as well, frankly, and hardly any chance of falling victim to sexual assault. And unlike the 30,000 women in the UK who lose their jobs annually due to pregnancy, there would be virtually no risk to your career if you chose to become a parent, or became one accidentally. For someone with such a fondness for women, I wonder if you've ever considered what it might be like to be one. The world has changed, but the numbers remain stacked against us. Women are responsible for 2/3 of the work done worldwide, yet earn only 10% of the total income and own 1% of the property. It's not just about money and power. Every year, 70 million girls are deprived of even a basic education, and a staggering 60 million are sexually assaulted on their way to school. We're afraid to walk the streets at night, yet some of us are even more afraid to return to our own homes. At least 1 in 4 are victims of domestic violence. And every week, 2 women in the UK are killed by a current or former partner. So, are we equals?
This vile piece of propaganda is officially endorsed by the creators of Bond. If men had any self-respect, this would have been the end of Bond, and men would have boycotted the franchise forever, or until the owners of the Bond franchise did a groveling apology and donated millions to a men's charity. The feminist trot sets in and no one notices, and anyone who objects gets called a whiner by other non-feminists, and ask what is the big deal? The average non-feminist enables feminism or downplays how harmful it is. Years later, when the feminist rot gets really bad and franchises get trashed, the right-wingers then blame leftists and social justice warriors, ignoring the feminist menace right in front of their eyes. It is only right-wingers who are speaking up against the feminist invasion of male hobbies at all, but their ideological understanding is poor and directionless, so their pushback is weak. Gamergate has failed, Ghostbusters has been trashed, Star Wars has been trashed, Star Trek has been trashed. Bond is next on the list, and people will parrot the phrase "go woke, go broke." Feminists will also move on to other franchises after they are done with Bond. Feminists might even be the ones to finally kill Bond off for good. Who knows? Even when feminists run companies into the ground, they will just move on to the next one, and run that one into the ground. Feminists trashed Star Wars and the woman responsible is not even fired for it. This is pro-male vendetta, calling on men to have a crusade against the feminist hate movement. If men want to fight culture wars against feminists and so-called SJWs, they need to fight to win. There has to be a zero tolerance for feminist propaganda in our entertainment. It doesn't matter if the movie is high quality or not. I do not want men to be slandered and defamed in the general culture, and have the next generation of boys taught to hate themselves. The culture wars are important, as that is the main way feminists try and make their bigotry acceptable to the mainstream. Fuck feminism, before it fucks you.